Hello, this is Jess, and this is December 4th, Monday evening, chat session number 34. We're going to go right into the tidbits of history. 1991, Islamic militants in Lebanon released kidnapped American journalist Terry Anderson after 2,454 days in captivity. Anderson was chief Middle East correspondent for the Associated Press. He was taken while leaving a tennis court on March 16, 1985, and held in an underground dungeon for the next 6.5 years. In 1999, Anderson sued the Iranian government for $100 million, accusing it of sponsoring his kidnappers. He received a multi-million-dollar settlement. So, if we know that they do these things like a country sponsors terrorists, and so somebody's like, "Nah, I'm suing," and then they end up paying. That's sort of odd if you think about it. If they're so hell-bent on chaos and terror and all that kind of stuff, why would they even go have a court of law? I don't get it. So that's sort of weird that he sued them and they paid him a multi-million-dollar settlement. What's that all about? I'm glad he was released, and that's that tidbit of history in 1991. 1956 is the next tidbit of history. The modest storefront recording studio at 760 Union Avenue in Memphis, Tennessee played an outsized role in rock and roll history. And of the many historic moments that occurred there, there is none more famous than the impromptu jam session by four young rock and roll giants that took place on this day in 1956. A session enshrined in rock and roll legend as the one and only gathering of the $1 Million Quartet. The stars were Carl Perkins, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Elvis Presley. And they went on to make some recordings, I guess that night, and apparently nobody knew about them till recently. I'm not sure what the date was, and they could have been 10, 15 years later from the 56. But they released those recordings, so interesting stuff. And that's the tidbits of music history information. And the other one was more of a political tidbit of history. Alright, so going to the surgeon in the morning. Apparently, I took a picture of it and sent it to him, and apparently I'm having some issues in my stitches on my knee, so I have to go and let them evaluate it in the morning, and hopefully it's nothing too serious or too time consuming and all that stuff. Anyway, on with that. I'm going to go right into some more of this politics on the federal level. I don't care about Democrats. I don't care about Republicans. I don't care about independents. I don't care what you label yourself. What matters is how you treat the people around you. I'm not saying you gotta be nice to everybody. That's an impossibility usually on a human factor. But I'm talking about these people that are in power that call themselves Republicans or call themselves Democrats or Independents. They shouldn't pass. They shouldn't even enact legislation that hurts the core of what the United States at least used to be: the working class, the middle class. And it's a shame that they're voted in state by state, all these different people, some Republicans, some Democrats, some Independents. And it's like a circus. It's like a the bears and the lions have been released to run around the arena to entertain, and then at the end of the day they're subdued and put back into their cages. And that's how it is, sort of like the way I see Capitol Hill, and these people running in and out of there, having a free-for-all on this legislation that's harmful to our country. And then at the end of the day, they get out of sight. You don't see them no more. I could sit here and challenge, each and every one of those guys that are in the elected offices of our Congress. But instead, I would just rather try to appeal to the human side of these people that are in there, and to really weigh the consequences of the way they vote and the way they think about their fellow men. Like I said, you don't gotta like everybody, you don't gotta love everybody, but you should try to act in the. I'm talking about Congress, and you should try to vote in the best way possible when it comes to affecting hundreds of millions of people with legislation that cuts into an already out of control health healthcare system here. The capitalism has taken over. The government picks up trillions of dollars in tabs on overcharged procedures. Maybe not all doctors do that. There's always good folks in every crowd. But the potential for fraud and waste and abuse is rampant in the insurance industry when it comes to the charges. I don't know. I just don't think it's right to enrich the rich while neglecting the people that are in need of these monies that they're talking about, all these tax breaks and stuff. And they say, oh, they're going to get this money and they're going to invest it, and in the reality, I think it's going to go right back into the government to get the next promises fulfilled for their business. Legislation to help them make more money off the backs of the workers. It's unfortunate that this is even I'm having to waste my breath on this issue, when those people that are making these rules, all they got to do is, first of all, quit making everything so complicated, and second of all, know what they're voting on, know the consequences, and then voting with a little bit of compassion. It's not about how much money you can make. It shouldn't be. It's about, is this serving the humanity, the humanity that's the United States? Is it serving everybody? If it's not, then I call on each and every one of you people up there to take a good look at yourself and reevaluate your intent, and reevaluate your stance on what's good for the country. Enough's enough. If everything's rigged, what are you going to do? I don't know. You got everybody saying everybody's meddling in everybody else's elections and blah blah blah, and it happened here and blah blah blah. I don't care. I think that there's going to have to be some change. I don't know what that is, but my ears are open to it. There needs to be some real change, real reform. Just forget about all that crap and rewrite a whole new legislation packet and make it simple. Not 27,000 pages and all that crap that they do, so that nobody ever knows what anything that's in there. It's impossible to have the stuff that's in those bills that those guys vote on, because there's thousands of pages and shit. It's so stupid. One thing should be one page. Okay, here's the page. Here's what we're voting on. There it is, short and simple. All that legal lumbo, mumbo, jumbo crap and the proper English and all that shit needs to be out of there. They need to make that stuff where I can understand it. I know if I can't, they can't. It's ridiculous. All those staffers that have to go in and translate and say they read this and tell them what the, it's a bunch of shit. You're a senator, or you're in the House, are you elected to a position? You look at your own stuff every now and then, make sure it's legit, know what the heck's going on. Our government doesn't have to be in disarray, but I really do think it is, and there needs to be a change. I'm going to end it here. Don't want to carry on too long about this stuff. Be truthful, be happy, and let's look out for each other, okay? Seattle won. It's a good weekend in football. Playoff time approaching. Have a great Monday evening.